Indian origin entrepreneur, author, and commentator Vivek Ramaswamy has declared his candidacy for US presidential elections 2024. A proud moment for every Indian. I'm joined by his parents, VG Ramaswamy and Geetha, living in Ohio. Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for joining us on Times Network. In fact, your son threw his hat into the presidential race ring, a proud moment and a very bold decision. Let me begin by asking you, as parents, what are your thoughts on Vivek Ramaswamy's announcement to join the US presidential race for 2024? Was it on expected lines, and how hopeful are you that he will secure the nominations?
I can comment on that. We were surprised about the timing when he said that. For a long time, we had a feeling that he will be heading in that direction because he had a lot of indications along the way during his growing up years. But the fact that he timed it for this day and moment was a surprise.
So from very young, he had good ambitions. He always talked along these lines, and it seemed like a dream. And Vivek, to be clear, has always reached very high. Okay. And many times the aspirations have surprised us. But from when he was very little, he'll take very high challenges and then come out okay. And then, so we are surprised, a little bit okay, shocked, but
okay.
And we're also aware of the challenges ahead.
Yes, absolutely. And ma'am, sir, you migrated to the US long ago from a small town in Palakkad, which is also my hometown. You gave him exposure to the world. You've seen him grow up, study, pursue his passion and dreams. So what, according to you, prompted or drove him to declare his candidacy? What was, according to you, the triggering factor?
I think actually he has been talking about his frustration, what he's seeing that is happening here. Vivek always, he's a very caring and compassionate person, very genuine, outspoken, and he really believes that he owes it to the country to give back. So he has always said he's very proud. He's very proud of his country, and he feels that every individual, especially the younger generation, should have the same dream, and he thinks it's possible. So he really has good self-confidence, and it's based on his hard work as well. So he just wants to see the country come back into being a merit-oriented country in excellence where US leads. And that's his goal. That's what I think. What do you think?
I agree with that because he is speaking out of conviction. It is not play for fame or power or money, but he has certain convictions, like Geetha said, meritocracy and then high goals, and it is possible for everyone. So that is what is driving him. And when he sees people around him are not speaking up or silent majority, a lot of people agree with him in private, in all his views, and everybody encourages him, go for it. But most of them are silent. They were put up with it in a silent way. They don't speak up. So he decided to come and get in the ring and give them a voice. I think he's passionate about that. That's what drives.
And what's his vision for America? His plans to uplift the population of the country, bring better quality of life to citizens there. So what is his vision for America?
I can try to answer that because most of it is outlined in his books as well as articles he writes. So you could get a lot more details. But basically, his conviction is that that success is possible by anyone and everyone with hard work. And he has proven that with his own, endeavors and success so far. And then he thinks that merit is the basis of and and then he wants to trust that thinking into the wide population, that with hard work and meritorious work and honesty and integrity, you can get up there. That's his firm conviction, and that's what I believe his message is coming through.
He's genuinely passionate about this, and he's very proud. He's very proud of his country, and he really believes the potential is there. So he always says the good days are yet to come. He's very disappointed in what's happening right now, but he thinks that can easily change. So I think he does not want people to hide behind excuses. He said that whatever it takes, help financially or otherwise, people can come up and then work hard towards it. So he wants to revive that spirit. I think that's what he said.
And how has his growing up years been? What was he as a student, as an entrepreneur? Was he active in public life? What were his contributions in public life? Has he held any position in the government? Take us through his growing up years and, of course, his public life as well.
So from childhood, I can say he was like any other kid, but always it was interesting to watch him. In the second grade, he wrote an essay that he wanted to be the president. But that, we always laugh about because he was only second grade. But as he grew up, like in the sixth grade, while the elections were going on, he participated in what they call a kids voting, where he was like a announcer in the radio, relaying what is going on in the voting process. He always took interest. I mean, for his age, he always took interest in what was actually happening. My husband and he would have like big discussions towards that. And he might have understood some or not. But as he grew up, I think he held leadership positions in school, as well as in college, like Harvard Political Union. And so he took positions such as that. He loves to debate. He loves open discussions, does not mind if he's the only one saying something different. That's okay. And he likes that. And that's another thing he feels is being lacking now, because people are putting ceilings on what you can say. So he believes in that. So I think, but he hasn't held any government position.
Yeah. He's an independent thinker. And he's not shy about sharing his thoughts, whether it's popular. Agree with him, sometimes you don't, but that he always welcomes a debate and a counterpoints. That's something I appreciated that, and he does change his position. If you can convince him to change his, he'll do that, but he'll try hard to argue for or against. So we had many occasions as he was growing up in high school that we had pretty lengthy, loud arguments in restaurants even as a family.
I mean, the same theme goes whether he has to pick which restaurant to go to food, but you have to convince him, and then he'll, so he just enjoys that.
And also, sir and ma'am, what we believe he's seeking a Republican Party's nomination. So what attracted him to the Republican Party?
Yes, the way you probably are familiar with some of the system here, which is different from India, that there basically is a two-party system, Democratic or Republicans. And within each party, there are different views. So that's a separate story. But it's a two-party system, so he has to go with either Democrat or Republican. And then he's aligned his thinking currently with the Republican side. So he has got a lot more traction for his views from the Republicans. So for that reason, he's going with them. And he...
but like he has many views where it can align with both groups, actually. Some of them overlap. And I think he's not shy to say that. I mean, he when he's pointing out things could be better on both sides. I think his vision is people unite in a way that we enjoy our diversity in a way that's positive and bring change. So whether it's Democrat or Republican. But right now he's running as well.
And how is he planning to go against Trump and Nikki Haley? Do you think, he stands a chance? What is the differentiating factor as far as Vivek is concerned? What advantages does he have against these leaders in the race?
Okay, I can address that. I believe, this is my opinion, he has not held a political office. He has got a lot of leadership abilities. He has proven that. So in the private sector, his leadership qualities are he has very well established. Not in a political sense or in a government leadership role, which I think it cannot be that different. But he is also very focused on policy matters, which he would be involved with as a government. So when he was at Yale as well as in Harvard Political Union, he has taken a lot of stand on policy issues, and he has addressed some of those even in debates. So he welcomes that. So he is well equipped to handle the government role, although he has not held an office per se. And that, in my view, is his advantage also, because those who are already in the power structure, established views, and so there's a certain beaten track all the typical politicians take. And his advantage may be that he brings a fresh outsider perspective and his wealth of experience from the private sector.
Also, so the country is looking for like a new way, because people really want fresh blood. They want fresh way of thinking, and he is bringing the novelty to that.
Yeah.
The thing is, the confidence he has is sometimes amazing, even for parents. As parents, when he started his company when he was in his late 20s, I remember him telling us in the living room, this is what he's thinking, and I was thinking, oh my God, what a major task, and why would you do something like this? But he surprised us pleasantly how the company grew and how he was a good leader and how everybody loved him and there was success there. So we have started accepting when he goes for this moon, it's like probably he will reach there.
And the other advantage he has is that some of the established candidates that you mentioned, they are old. Youth and youthful energy going to be his asset.
Absolutely. And so my last question, his thoughts on India. How often does Vivek visit India? What about you? I think you visited very recently. And what are Vivek's memories of India? I believe he also has visited India regularly. So what has Indian values, tradition, and culture sort of taught him while growing up and, helped him pursue his dreams in America?
So one of the things is when we raise children, they're actually proud of their heritage. So he speaks Tamil fluently. We speak Tamil at home. Visits to India and the religion he has always, enjoyed, and he sees that as a discipline. And we know that he still prays in the way he does, and he enjoyed going to the temples. And when he was little, they went every year almost. Then as he grew up, he went less often, but still did. After he was married, he took his wife and went there to all the temples that we took him. So and he's proud of his roots. Actually, he writes about it in his book, his experiences, and some of the things how he saw it. But it's a big part of it. So he's proud of that. And during our discussions, he talks to us, and we have different opinions about different things. But that still is very much part of it. We visit more often these days since we are retired. We just spend 2 months there.
Yeah, he used to visit India in his younger days with us when he was in school, through high school, through even Harvard and Yale. We had visited, and he has visited most places in India, including South and North.
In fact, he's written about the Badrinath.
Yeah, he actually, it's interesting. In Harvard, he did a research paper on the Badrinath Yatra, actually. And anyway,
we went on the Yatra later.
So he had a different perspective of a lot of things. Different, although we all pray to the same God, but he still have a different way of approaching it, which to me is more philosophical rather than, ritualistic. And also growing up here has helped his thinking in many ways. In fact, we sent him to a Jesuit school, which is a Catholic school, all boys high school. So he has learned a lot of the Western thinking during that time. So he's I would say well-rounded in both the Eastern and the Western aspects.
When he writes or when he thinks, sometimes I'm amazed. He thinks about Vivekananda's philosophy. He draws things from Bhagavad Gita. Same thing he does from the Bible. So he's able to do that with versatility. It all means the same. It's the underlying good philosophy.
Interesting.
And the values also that what we had taught him early on looks like it has sunk into him, because he's teaching similar things to his children, like respecting of elders, or including older people as well as compassion. So he has picked up a lot of those aspects, and happy to say that he has 2 children of his own now, and he kind of molds the similar values he tries to do that.
And honesty is a big part of it. It's honesty is just plain spoken honesty. There's no drama around that. He just does what he's meant.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you, Mr. Ramaswamy, as well as Geetha, ma'am. And congrats on this massive announcement. And thank you for joining us on Times Network. And we really hope that Vivek Ramaswamy gets that nomination.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much for your best wishes. It's a long road, tough road ahead, and let's hope for the best.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.